Good day, class. Welcome to Life Skills. In our life skills today, we will be focusing on development of the self, which is development of you as a person and how to deal with conflict. Before we can deal with the conflict, we obviously have to answer a few questions. Questions such as, what is conflict? What causes conflict? Different types of conflict, and how to resolve conflict. You will also see that we will do a bit of a summary after this. So what is conflict? Conflict is a challenge to the way a person thinks or behaves, or someone else challenging the way we think or behave. Conflict can take place between two people or between a group of people. And also, conflict is a daily occurrence. It does not just happen in your life as kids, it also happens between grown-ups. Some examples of conflict is fighting over toys, a difference in ideas, fighting over whose space is whose, fighting over which chores needs to be done, and maybe we're having a bit of trouble with the new sibling. There are four different types of conflict. These four types of conflict are known as person versus person, which is conflict between yourself and a friend, or yourself and a sibling, or even a superhero and a villain. Then we have person versus self, that is conflict within yourself, where you are struggling with making decisions, making up your mind. Then we have the person versus society. This is conflict that we usually touch on when we do history. Examples of this would be apartheid, the French Revolution, and then we have the person versus nature. And this conflict we touch on when we do geography. So this is basically us versus nature, where nature fights back using tornadoes, volcanoes, earthquakes, floods, etc. And how we deal with it is obviously by having to move, seeing that we've lost our houses, or anything along those lines. The way to deal with conflict or to resolve conflict is to never ignore it. Conflict needs to be resolved as soon as it is brought to the attention of the grown-up of your choice. If conflict is not resolved immediately, it may lead to a more toxic environment for the person affected. Once the attention has been brought to the conflict, we need to define what the main issue is. So we need to speak to the parties involved who is having the conflict. We need to have separate conversations with these individuals so that we can know what the issue is. What is the conflict about? The involved parties, they need to be brought together so that there can be an understanding of the problem. Once we have established the understanding of the problem, we can then come together to provide a solution. The solution that we provide needs to be agreed upon between all the parties involved, and the solution needs to be monitored and followed up on by the teacher or grown-up of your choice. And if the solution is not working, need to then work together so that we can come up with a better solution. So, in summary, we all deal with different types of conflict on a daily basis. Some conflict may just take longer to resolve than others, but all conflict can be resolved. Both parties involved in the conflict needs to be willing to resolve it and to keep it that way. In this way, there will be trust built between those parties. The teacher or the grown-up that you choose to discuss your conflict with, it needs to be someone that you trust and that you don't have a problem with being open, who you tell everything to. And please, learners should not be afraid to come forward and discuss their conflict, because conflict may lead to bullying, which could have even more serious consequences. Thank you.